In the world of late-night television, Johnny Carson was an undisputed icon, renowned for his wit, charm, and ability to captivate audiences night after night. But behind the scenes, Carson's affable demeanor often masked a complex and sometimes contentious relationship with his guests. While he welcomed a wide array of celebrities onto The Tonight Show, there was one guest whom Carson couldn't stand, a figure whose presence on his show elicited frustration, irritation, and even outright animosity. Join us as we delve into the story of the guest Johnny Carson couldn't stand, unraveling the drama, tension, and behind-the-scenes secrets that colored their interactions and left an indelible mark on the history of late-night television. Johnny Carson, the legendary late-night show host, was undeniably one of the most beloved figures on television during his tenure. However, behind the curtain of his illustrious career, Carson grappled with a myriad of personal struggles that often went unnoticed by the public eye. Despite his affable on-screen persona, Carson's personal life was fraught with difficulties. He struggled in his roles as a husband, facing challenges in his marriages and relationships. His first marriage to Jody Morrow Wolcott ended in divorce in 1963 after 14 years, reportedly due to Carson's infidelity. His second marriage to Joanne Copeland lasted from 1963 to 1972, also ending in divorce amid allegations of Carson's extramarital affairs. Finally, his third marriage to Joanna Holland lasted from 1972 to 1985 and ended in a bitter divorce. Carson's battles with alcoholism were also well documented. He struggled with alcohol dependency throughout his life, and his drinking often led to erratic behavior and strained relationships with those closest to him. Despite his public image as a charming and witty host, Carson's drinking habits took a toll on his personal and professional life. Additionally, Carson's tumultuous relationships with some of his guests and colleagues added further strain to his personal life. While he was revered by many in the entertainment industry, there were instances where Carson clashed with guests or staff behind the scenes. His reputation for being demanding and at times difficult to work with added to the complexities of his personal relationships. Despite these challenges, Carson's legacy as a pioneering figure in late-night television remains unparalleled. His contributions to the medium continue to be celebrated, but his struggles with personal demons serve as a reminder of the complexities that lie beneath the surface of even the most celebrated public figures. Johnny Carson's relationships with guests and co-workers were a mixed bag, reflecting the complexity of his personality and the dynamics of the entertainment industry. While Carson was renowned for his affable demeanor on screen, behind the scenes, his interactions with guests and co-workers were not always smooth sailing. One notable example is Carson's relationship with legendary comedian Bob Hope. Carson often invited Hope onto The Tonight Show, paying homage to the iconic entertainer who paved the way for generations of comedians. However, as Hope aged, he faced challenges with his hearing and vision, which impacted his ability to perform. Despite Carson's admiration for Hope, these challenges sometimes led to awkward moments on air, highlighting the delicate balance between honoring a legend and accommodating the realities of aging. Carson's reputation as a womanizer also colored his interactions with female guests and co-workers. While he charmed audiences with his wit and charisma, behind the scenes, Carson's personal relationships were often complicated by his extramarital affairs and flirtatious behavior. His reputation as a womanizer contributed to a perception of him as a complex and enigmatic figure, capable of both warmth and aloofness. Moreover, Carson's relationship with his mother, Ruth Carson, was a source of both joy and pain throughout his life. Raised in a tumultuous household, Carson had a strained relationship with his mother, who struggled with mental health issues. Ruth's battles with depression and alcoholism deeply affected Carson, shaping his own struggles with addiction and emotional instability. Despite their challenges, Carson maintained a sense of loyalty and obligation to his mother, even as her actions often caused him pain. In many ways, Carson's relationships with guests and co-workers reflected the complexities of his own inner turmoil. While he was revered by audiences for his comedic brilliance and charm, behind the scenes, Carson grappled with personal demons and emotional scars that influenced his interactions with others. As a result, his relationships with guests and co-workers were often fraught with tension and complexity, mirroring the multifaceted nature of his own personality. Johnny Carson's relationships with other guests and co-workers were as diverse as the stars that graced his stage. While many celebrities enjoyed Carson's company and coveted an appearance on The Tonight Show, there were also instances of friction and animosity between Carson and certain individuals. One notable example is Carson's relationship with Wayne Newton, the beloved entertainer known as Mr. Las Vegas. Newton's purchase of the Aladdin Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas reportedly irked Carson, leading to tension between the two men. Carson, who had long been associated with the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas, may have viewed Newton's acquisition as encroaching on his territory. The strained relationship between Carson and Newton underscored the competitive nature of the entertainment industry, where even colleagues could become rivals. Another figure who clashed with Carson was Tom Snyder, the host of The Tomorrow Show. Carson reportedly harbored animosity towards Snyder and often made jokes at his expense on The Tonight Show. The rivalry between Carson and Snyder was fueled by professional competition and personal differences, with each man vying for supremacy in the late-night talk show landscape. Carson's disdain for Snyder manifested in humorous jabs and playful banter, adding a layer of intrigue to their on-screen interactions. Despite these tensions, Carson's relationships with other guests and co-workers were not uniformly contentious. He shared warm and enduring friendships with many celebrities, including fellow comedians, actors, and musicians. Carson's affable demeanor and quick wit endeared him to countless guests, who relished the opportunity to engage with the legendary host on television's most iconic late-night program. The relationship between Johnny Carson and Joan Rivers, two comedic titans of their era, was as complex as it was legendary. Rivers, known for her sharp wit and irreverent humor, first rose to prominence as a frequent guest on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. However, their professional partnership eventually became fraught with tension and resentment. Rivers' ascent to fame as a guest host on Carson's show was met with both admiration and animosity. While Carson initially welcomed Rivers as a guest host, he reportedly grew increasingly irate when her own late-night program, The Late Show starring Joan Rivers, was scheduled to air in direct competition with The Tonight Show. The rivalry between the two hosts reached a fever pitch as they vied for viewership and ratings in the competitive late-night landscape. In a pivotal moment that underscored the strain in their relationship, Rivers appeared on Larry King's show in 2009 and publicly aired her grievances against Carson. Despite her admiration for Carson's longtime sidekick, Ed McMahon, Rivers claimed that Carson had never spoken to her again after she launched her own show. The rift between Carson and Rivers became emblematic of the cutthroat nature of show business, where alliances could shift and friendships could fray in the pursuit of success. Despite their professional rivalry, Carson and Rivers shared a deep mutual respect for each other's talents. Rivers often credited Carson with launching her career and providing her with invaluable opportunities to showcase her comedic prowess on The Tonight Show. Likewise, Carson acknowledged Rivers' comedic genius and contributed to her rise to stardom as one of the most influential female comedians of her generation. In the annals of late-night television history, the relationship between Johnny Carson and Joan Rivers remains a compelling and complex chapter. Their dynamic interactions on screen, marked by humor, wit, and occasional friction, captivated audiences and defined an era of television entertainment. While their partnership may have been tinged with rivalry and resentment, the legacy of Carson and Rivers as pioneering icons of comedy endures as a testament to their enduring impact on the world of entertainment. The tumultuous relationship between Johnny Carson and Joan Rivers was not without its share of scandal and controversy. As two of the most prominent figures in late-night television, their professional rivalry spilled over into their personal lives, resulting in a series of scandals that captivated audiences and fueled tabloid headlines. The most infamous scandal between Carson and Rivers erupted when Rivers launched her own late-night talk show, The Late Show starring Joan Rivers, in 1986. Carson, who had mentored Rivers and provided her with numerous opportunities on The Tonight Show, was reportedly incensed by Rivers' decision to compete directly against him in the late-night time slot. In the aftermath of Rivers' show, Carson ceased all communication with her, effectively severing their once close professional and personal relationship. However, the rift between Carson and Rivers deepened when Rivers made shocking claims about her relationship with Carson in her autobiography, Enter Talking, published in 1986. In the book, Rivers alleged, that she had engaged in a brief affair with Carson in the early 1970s, while she was still married to her husband, Edgar Rosenberg. Rivers' revelation sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and further strained her already fraught relationship with Carson. Tragically, the scandal surrounding Rivers' alleged affair with Carson was compounded by personal tragedy when her husband, Edgar Rosenberg, died by suicide in 1987. Devastated by Rosenberg's death, Rivers and her daughter, Melissa, were left to grapple with grief and loss in the wake of the scandal that had engulfed their family. The scandalous allegations and personal tragedies that plagued the relationship between Johnny Carson and Joan Rivers cast a dark shadow over their storied careers in the entertainment industry. Despite their professional successes and contributions to the world of comedy, the scandals between Carson and Rivers serve as a sobering reminder of the complexities and challenges of fame, ambition, and personal relationships in the spotlight. In the decades since the scandals rocked the entertainment world, both Carson and Rivers have passed away, leaving behind legacies that are as controversial as they are celebrated. Their tumultuous relationship continues to be a subject of fascination and intrigue for fans and observers of the entertainment industry, a testament to the enduring power of gossip, scandal, and the human drama that unfolds behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. The power of late-night television to influence public perception and behavior was on full display in December 1973, when Johnny Carson inadvertently sparked panic over a seemingly innocuous joke about toilet paper on The Tonight Show. During a monologue segment on his show, Carson made a lighthearted quip about an alleged shortage of toilet paper, jokingly advising viewers to stock up on rolls to avoid being caught unprepared. Little did Carson know, his offhand remark would trigger a nationwide frenzy, as viewers took his words seriously and rushed to supermarkets to hoard toilet paper. The joke quickly snowballed into a full-blown panic, as news of the supposed toilet paper shortage spread like wildfire, fueled by media coverage and word of mouth. Concerned citizens descended upon grocery stores in droves, frantically purchasing as much toilet paper as they could carry in anticipation of a looming crisis. The sudden surge in demand for toilet paper caught retailers off guard, leading to widespread shortages and empty shelves in stores across the country. As panicked consumers scrambled to stockpile toilet paper, suppliers struggled to keep up with the unprecedented demand, exacerbating the shortage and fueling further anxiety among the public. Realizing the unintended consequences of his joke, Carson took the unusual step of addressing the situation publicly and offering a heartfelt apology for his role in causing the panic. In an interview with the New York Times, Carson expressed regret over the incident and emphasized that his intention had been merely to entertain his audience, not to incite fear or panic. Carson's apology underscored the power of television to influence public behavior and highlighted the importance of responsible communication, even in the realm of comedy. The toilet paper panic of 1973 served as a cautionary tale about the potential consequences of spreading misinformation and the need for media figures to wield their influence responsibly. In the years since the infamous incident, the toilet paper panic of 1973 has become a cautionary tale and a source of amusement for comedians and commentators alike. It stands as a reminder of the unpredictable and sometimes surreal ways in which humor and satire can intersect with reality, leaving an indelible mark on popular culture and collective memory.